It's Halloween, and what better way to celebrate than to do another episode of Wii Reviews with another installment of the ReBirth series from Konami, Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth, released for the WiiWare shortly after Contra Rebirth. And it should be noted that this is an enhanced remake of Castlevania The Adventure for the Game Boy, which was considered by many fans one of the worst Castlevania games in the series. So does this remake improve on everything that's wrong with the original, or is it just as bad? Well, let's find out. Count Dracula, a demon king with once great demonic power who seeks to avoid What? It let me read! Time after time throughout history, Dracula was defeated by... What the fuck? 100 years have passed since Dracula's demise, with the fear of him gone. Oh, come on! With such a tragic history repeating itself, Christopher, a descendant of the Belmonts, decided to stand up for humanity. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Did you see that shit? It didn't even let me read. I was gonna tell you the story, but forget it. Oh well. Anyway, now let's look at the gameplay. Okay, I think we're all familiar with the gameplay of the classic Castlevania games. Just some good old-fashioned whipping enemies, collecting other weapons to defeat harder enemies, limited jumping with various obstacles and surprises in your way, all that good stuff that you've come to expect. However, this Castlevania is more akin to the NES games, excluding Simon's Quest, since that one is completely different. And unlike Contra Rebirth, which is only 4 short levels, this one has 6 long levels, with levels 2 to 5 having both sub-bosses and bosses, featuring familiar ones like the Grim Reaper and of course Dracula himself. And of course you have various enemies in your way like rolling eyeballs, floating eyeballs, blue skulls, knights, fucking birds, and...
A skeleton. Red skeleton!
And even though this game is short, it's not easy. Unless you're playing on easy, obviously, but even with that, it still isn't a walk in the park. But just like all the other Castlevanias, even though it gets harder as you progress, you're still gonna get lots of enjoyment. The graphics look pretty good. They're on par with Contra Rebirth and Gradius Rebirth. The music is excellent, but it's really loud. You know, they could have toned it down a bit. Maybe the music was made for the hearing impaired, so I recommend playing this game with the volume a bit low. Oh, and they also added some cool voice sampling like this one. There's really not a whole lot to say here. All in all, if you're a Castlevania fan or you just simply love side-scrolling retro games, especially from Konami, then definitely download this. It's only $10 and it's worth it. I give Castlevania The Adventure ReBirth a silver, and the only reason why I give it a silver is because there are better Castlevania games out there, especially on the Virtual Console. You have Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse for the NES, Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, and Dracula X Rondo of Blood for the PC Engine Super CD, which is the Japanese version of the TurboGrafx CD. But one Castlevania game that isn't better on the Wii is Castlevania Judgment. Maybe I'll review it for next year's Halloween, but who knows, anything can happen. Anyway, I'm Allie-RX, and I hope you enjoyed this review, even though it was pretty short, and I'm sorry if it was. And happy Halloween 2011. See ya. It's that time again, folks. You know it is. I will be live streaming again this Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Know your time zones. That way you won't miss it again. And I might be online on Ustream an hour early, maybe. But be there by 8 o'clock. The link is on the video. It's also on the description. Ustream.tv/channel/Allie-RX. I will be live again again at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget it. Know your time zones. And when we're live there, we're gonna have some fun. You just talk about stuff, all that good stuff, and more stuff. And yeah, that's all the stuff I have for now. Until then, I will see you later.